How are you, sir? First of
Good,
all,
Nigel. Good, man.
good, good. So, tell me a little bit about yourself and tell me what part of the world you're in.
Uh, I was originally in the Hustlers campus, and then I went into the crypto investing campus. I do 3D printing on the
Okay.
side, and any income I make from there, I put it straight into my crypto portfolio to multiply that.
Okay, cool. So, before we go into your crypto folio, tell me a little bit. I mean, how old are you?
Right now, I'm 19. I go to uni. I work, exercise.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. So you're young then. You're quite a young boy going into everything. So you're still at uni at the moment then.
Yes, I'm currently at uni.
So what are you studying at university?
Basically, the only practical thing there is, I do engineering. I like the maths behind it and the
Uh-huh.
practicality.
Okay, cool. So what part of the world are you in?
I'm based in Brisbane, Australia right now.
Oh, okay, cool. What time is it there?
It's my bedtime, basically 12 o'clock.
Okay, cool. So you're studying engineering at university.
Yes.
What made you spin off and go and kind of join the real world and kind of go into something totally different from what you're doing now?
It was Andrew Tate's marketing. It was Andrew Tate's philosophy. I wanted to go into the campuses and see what it's all about.
Hmm.
His demeanor and his persuasion got me inside. And when I saw the
Hmm.
crypto investing campus with Adam, I could see the maths behind it. I can get behind his systemization. I quite liked how the whole campus is very nicely structured as well.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So the maths and everything else, because in engineering, like you use a lot of numbers and a lot of things. So I see where you can get the math idea from. So you're at university and you're in the campus and you're doing. I would imagine you're doing very very well within, like, obviously with the stem off from the side, but you're still obviously studying and everything else. Number one, how do you find the time? How do you discipline yourself to find the time between working within the two? That's
Well,
my first question.
university comes first in the mornings. And
Yeah,
usually during noon, that's when Adam streams his investing analysis. I pop down for a little bit of lunch and also kill
yeah,
some time by watching his investing analysis. Then back to uni, and then any type of
yeah.
research, post grad research I need to do, I do that during the nighttime.
Okay, cool. So you're fully working super hard. First of all, tell me about your experiences in kind of like investing. Did you know anything about it beforehand, or was it just something totally fresh, or you went into it and you saying, "Oh my god, I understand that fully"? And tell me a little bit about that. First of all.
Investing, all I knew about investing was real estate, buy real estate, hold real estate in Australia. Everyone's over leveraging in real estate in Australia. I didn't really want to put all my eggs in one basket, especially in one geographical location, as Tate usually says. So the next asset class which I prefer to go into is crypto.
Hmm. Okay, cool. So, what would you say along those lines? Have you built any systems? Have you done anything yourself, or is it just something that you're kind of just following a system and going through that system?
So right now, last 2 months after I graduated my Professor Adams masterclass, I've been doing my postgrad research
Hmm.
and going more in depth of understanding what indicators are, researching which ones are useful, which ones are garbage, understanding, creating almost a system for my systems actually. So kind of
Mm.
getting that knowledge and that postgrad knowledge into my brain and kind of understanding where is everything at? What
Mm.
is a good indicator? What is a bad indicator? And just
Yeah,
getting knowledge from that.
and going from there. How do you distinguish between good and bad indicators?
Usually it is back testing. A lot of the time is just
Mm.
looking around, seeing if you could see a top signal, seeing a bottom signal, and trying to find if things line up with price. Maybe not. It could be price. It could be some other
Hmm.
indicators as well.
And then, what would you say alongside that? What would you say? kind of, are there any kind of core principles that you set yourself that you kind of stick by or um, kind of follow in any way?
So first of all, you have to understand what's happening. So anything you get new across the table, anything I see come across the real world as new
Mm.
information, I always try to understand what it actually is, what the
Hmm.
owner actually did, what did the person who created it for, what its meaning, and how it can actually be implemented in different systems.
Okay, cool. And then, do you develop any new strategies, or do you just stick with one, or once when one's kind of set in stone, you just roll with that, or is there? I mean, you've said briefly that you kind of go along and you're always seeing what's good, seeing what's bad. So, is there any kind of significant kind of strategies or developing and testing new strategies so you can excel in what you've already kind of achieved?
Yeah, developing strategy. Right now, I'm at IMC level 1. So I'm creating my own SDCA system, which basically
Mm.
means your strategical dollar cost averaging, making sure you take advantage of high value zones and buying when everyone's scared
Hmm.
and everyone's selling, making sure you sell when everyone's super greedy and is buying at the tops. So that's one system. That's what I'm creating
Yeah.
right now. Adam has a bunch of other systems, such as your RSPS system, which is calibrated to per buy in and buy out of different majors in order to make the most amount of
Hmm.
profit during upswings.
Awesome. Awesome. Have you made any mistakes? Let's get to the other side. Have you made any mistakes, and kind of have you kind of suffered any setbacks with regards to maybe going down the wrong system or anything else like
I haven't made any major mistakes yet because
that?
it's only been
Nothing
2 months.
major.
I've not made any major mistakes yet. But if I was to make mistakes, it was probably just the IMC stuff, getting through that, making like a couple mistakes here and there, but not really major anything yet. I don't have enough
And
wisdom
how's
in
that?
me yet.
You don't, okay, cool, cool. So financially, you've not really kind of like lost anything.
Yeah,
Financially, you've been pretty set, and financially, you've seen yourself kind of grow in that way by doing the systems that you're doing
yeah.
and
A lot of
invest in
it's
the
to
systems that you've been
do
doing.
with following Adam and his wisdom as well. So if you follow Adam,
Yeah,
well, he has lots of experience and he understands where to stay greedy, where to put money in, where to be fearful and get your money out,
yeah,
and always looking at the daily IAs to understand where the market's going. You always get that
yeah,
professional advice straight from the source.
yeah. Which is that, and it's always accessible. It's always accessible for you to go and get that as well, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're you're answering my next question pretty soundly, really, to be fair, because it sounds to me like without obviously Adam, without his support, and without obviously the real world, you wouldn't have been able to achieve the things that you wanted to achieve. I mean, would you ever thought you would be in this kind of? Uh, would you ever thought you would have went into that investing kind of crypto investing area,
I
or
would
kind
have
of
never touched crypto
what's the
if it
word I'm looking
wasn't for
for?
Adam. Let's just say that.
I can't
My
think of the word I'm
parents are
looking for. But
fully
would you? Would
against crypto. I was able to convince them to let me put some of my own money into the
Yeah,
systems and create my own, put my own money into crypto. If it wasn't for Adam and me being able to understand everything, a lot of
yeah,
the every single week, I sit down with my parents, sit down with my dad. I tell them, "Hey, this is where the market's going," and I'm also teaching him. He's invested into real estate. He's been very safe, and I want him to like understand what I'm doing as well.
nice.
Getting the whole family kind of involved, not making sure no one's ever in the dark.
It's brilliant that you're actually bringing other people into your kind of little domain there as well. So, what generally, like, do you have any future plans? Obviously, because you got to finish studying as well, your engineering course. When does that finish? When does that end?
End of next year, so very
Okay,
very close.
and then where do you see yourself, like, let's say, like in the next 3 to 5 years? I mean, are you going to continue with this? Are you going to go into engineering? Are you going to do both? What does that look like for you?
I think what Adam says in the campus is making sure you have good income, because if you don't have
Yeah.
a source of income coming in, you're always feeding from your fund. You always want to be growing your
Mm.
fund. That's kind of what the next step is, making sure my fund is $1 million, $2, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million.
Yeah, yeah. And you have a plan. You have a plan on how to kind of construct that. You've kind of set that in your mind, or
Right
you've
now,
made yourself.
yeah, so right now it's trying to focus on investing and getting my
Mm.
all of my systems ready, especially for the next bull market. We already know the bull market's starting. We already seen
Yeah,
100K Bitcoin. Just this, like, last 3 days has been
yeah,
absolutely amazing.
yeah. So a big smile on your face.
Yes.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, cool. So I mean, last question. What would I mean? Obviously, you've included your family into this. Is it just your dad? Do you have any siblings or anything else that
Oh,
you would speak to,
I
or
have a
anything
funny
else?
story actually about my brother. He is in finance. He
Yeah.
did a he did a finance degree, one of the top finance degrees in the state, and he had access to Bloomberg. He had access to all this information from university. And my brother was. He's like, Dad, Dad, I want to invest into stocks. I know which ones are going to go up, which ones are going to go down. And he used basically his knowledge from university to go into stocks. And obviously, universities aren't teaching you everything. And so he lost about
Correct.
a couple $1,000s. And that's why my dad was very, very skeptical of me investing my money into
With
crypto.
yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So but have you then channeled him? Because again, it's like, would you recommend him going into the real world and doing what you've done, or has he gone off his own back and, like, still? Well, he's lost his couple of $1,000s, but has he made that back, or have you helped him to make that back, or what's been a development from that?
Yeah,
Or has
so
there been any development from that?
so I think when he lost the 8 grand, he's like, I don't want to touch anything to do with stocks, anything like that. But as I've created my systems and followed the real world and showed him that, I can tell you right now, I'm up 34.9% on my portfolio.
Yeah,
And he's seen this
nice.
real life example of me doing it right in front of him, right next door. He's sleeping right now. And he's like, holy smokes, you're making 34 point. That's better than most investment funds. And I've been only invested for 2.5 months. So
Yeah,
2.5 months, 34.9% gains.
yeah, yeah. It's super good. Super good. Super good.
And
So, what would you
definitely
say?
be, he's definitely been inspired by that. And he's like, damn, I need to be in the real world as well, doing the cryptocurrency investing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, again, if you was gonna speak to your brother from layman's terms, or speak to any one of your friends or anything else like that, would you? How would you kind of tell them, kind of join the real world? Because obviously it's helped you loads. So, what would you say to someone that doesn't know anything about kind of like the real world? What would you say to them to kind of, like, say how good it is and say all of the help and support you've actually got from them?
Yeah, so Mr. Tate, he's the most famous person in the world. Everybody knows about the real world. Everyone should know about the real world. He's the most popular person on the internet right now. And
Hmm.
if they just need me to show them this evidence, which I have on my laptop, then
Hmm.
why wouldn't they not?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's You're
Would you say
either
anything? Would you say?
lazy. Say that again.
No, go on, go on, go on. You were gonna say because I
It's
like what
either
you're gonna
you're
say. Go on.
lazy, stupid, or arrogant. It's just one of those three.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna say something along those lines. So I just want you to. I'll wait to hear you say that,
Yeah,
which is fantastic. Okay, awesome. So well done. Is what I was going to say. Fantastic, obviously fantastic for what you've done. I wish you all the best, obviously for the future and everything else. Get your brother to join the real world and to make that money back that he lost. I don't know if he's well. You've seen his figures, so he
yeah,
can't live off you. Do you
yeah,
know what I mean? He
exactly.
can't expect you to make that back. He's got to make that back himself. So yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I just wish you all the best. Obviously, you're gonna smash your university course, which is there, which is coming up, which you're gonna just think it. And like I say, all the best for the future. And really, really good to speak to you as well. And like super well done for obviously taking that opportunity and following obviously the process from the real world. And then you're going to excel yourself. I can see you're going to excel yourself. You seem very calculated in what you're going to say, and those numbers just going past. Those little number things in your head. I can just see them just going on there. So yeah, very well done, and really really good to speak to you. And yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, we wish you all the best.
Thanks, Nigel.
No problem. Absolute pleasure.